challenges of caring for a loved one. Because the better care you take of yourself, the better care you can provide for your loved one.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
KPFT Artist Profile, Johnny Falstaff.
I think KPFT means a whole lot to a whole lot of people. For me personally, I remember KPFT from way back in the high school days. We were listening to the blues and to King Biscuit, and there was some kind of mushroom program going on at the time. I can't remember what that was, but we were all tripping and digging it. It's a very personal thing, on a very personal level. You can almost reach out and touch it, and it's very inviting to an artist. It's not like an untouchable Clear Channel type of organization where, you're cast out. You're in. If you're in Houston, and probably if you're on the road and coming through Houston, you're probably more than invited to come to the studio. So it's just a great place to get your music out there, and I think it's a great place to be a music listener as well.
Listen for his music and other local artists here on KPFT.
Hey y'all, I'm Anna Lamare. KPFT has been a supporter of my music since day one, and I'm grateful to be a part of this family. Thank you for helping spread independent local music. Support community radio. This is 90.1 KPFT Houston.
Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Firm. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas obtain parole and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. For more information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthis, you can find it at the website, parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
Listeners should be aware that the following program contains language and audio images which may be found disturbing and may not be suitable for your snotty-nosed little brat who probably cusses like a sailor behind your back anyway. Parental discretion is advised.
Daddy, I'm coming to see you. Visiting hours next week. Mama ain't been doing too well. I'll tell you more when we speak. And Billy's loving high school. He's out there blocking for JV. I'm sure he's gonna come around by the time you get released. Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know.
It's time to holler down the pipe chase and rattle them bars, because we're going to do a prison show for you right here at beautiful old, historic old, exciting new KPFT Houston, from the heart of Montrose, where we all hope tomorrow will be a better day.
I can see your freedom. I will hold you once more. The men with no visitors, no money on the books. Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone. This thing's my love. It's Friday night. The inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. Prison radio.
And welcome to the Prison Show. Today is June the 28th, Friday, June the 28th, last Friday in June. And you know what July brings? July brings another spend for e-com. Yeah, it sure does. And TDCJ has a brand new e-com site up and running. It looks very different than the old one. You can still do everything you used to do on it. Deposit money, buy some good stuff. So, and the good stuff's there. As of earlier, it was showing oatmeal and tortillas, flour tortillas, which is not often that you have those two. Now, when the new spin starts over next week, will those items be there? Probably not. Because as soon as every single time I try to buy an item for my loved one, they want oatmeal and flour tortillas. Never on there. But it's on there right now. So get ready. July 1st starts a new spend. So wanted to remind everyone about that. I'm sure you didn't forget, though. And tomorrow, the prison show will be at the TDCJ Summit representing. I did put a post out on Facebook earlier that if you have any thing that you need brought to their attention, if we have a long list, I know several organizations will be there talking about the heat. We definitely will be there too talking. I'm going to be talking about the quality of food, the amount of food. It's across the board. People aren't getting fed. I mean, if they get fed, it's like a little spoonful, and most of the people we hear from are grown men, and they're having issues. You know, even diabetics over at the Peden Unit are not getting fed correctly. Their sugar's high. So we're heading on over to Austin to speak with them at the summit. And like last time, there was a ton of different people there. Securus is going to be there. David is going to make a beeline for the Securus area.
Did you hear that, Mathis?
Yeah, he's going to be making a beeline over there. And, of course, medical will be there. I know both Linda and I have some issues with medical. So we're going to be talking to them, as well as directors, deputy directors. I'm not sure if Brian Collier will be there. He wasn't there at the last one. Anyway, so we're going to be tackling that tomorrow. So it's going to be a long day, that's for sure.
And we want to meet you.
Yes, we do.
Your families.
And your families. Absolutely. So if your family, if you can give your family a call, tell them, go on out to Austin. We have the information posted on our Facebook page. And I'm sure David will have that address later because I did not print it. I did not. I was shooting Linda over a bunch of stuff to print because I didn't have access to a printer today.
I think it's already on my map. I was prepared.
Yeah,
I was looking up earlier.
I'm not prepared. So.
It's called the Austin Stone St. John. It's at 500 East St. John's Avenue, Austin, Texas, 78752.
And if you didn't get that, we're going to repeat it later on in the show.
And I'll do it slower.
Yeah, slower, David. All right. So tonight, David has lined up a great show as usual. Mimi Rodriguez, criminal justice organizer with Grassroots Leadership, and Taj, which is Texas Advocates for Justice. Allison Mathis, attorney at Mathis Legal Services, former assistant public defender at Harris County Public Defender's Office, and candidate for Harris County 338th District Court Judge. Whew, Allison. And we have attorney at law Terry Peden. And I did let him know that I sent him a message. And apparently his website's broke. It's broke. He didn't get it. And, of course, Linda and I, the Death Row Angels, we will be here. Well, we are here, but we're going to be talking to you later on. But first, we have Mimi Rodriguez on line 2. Hi, Mimi.
Hello, how's it going?
Going good. How about you?
I'm doing well tonight. It's good to be here with y'all. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on. What you got for us tonight?
Yeah, I just wanted to talk a little bit about some work that we've done recently and then what we'll be involved in coming up here in the near future. So as y'all know, grassroots leadership, our mission is to end mass incarceration, criminalization, and deportations of our communities. And so part of that is our ongoing campaign, the Care Not Cages campaign. And so specifically in Harris County, we advocate for policies that reduce the jail population. So right now, the jail population is around 90% of the jail population, around 90% of the jail population is on pretrial detention. And so, that's people being held that haven't been convicted of any crimes. And so what we advocate is instead of continuing to invest in punishment, sending people, to prison, and we instead advocate for community-based resources, like increased funding to housing and mental health services. And so back in May, that was around the last time that I was here on the show, we participated in the National Bailout Project campaign to free Black mamas. So we were able to bail out 5 women from Harris County Jail, and since then we've been working with them to provide aftercare support. They have mentors that they've been working with, connecting them to housing and treatment resources, and we are providing court support as part of our participatory defense program, which I talked about, I think, the last time that I was here as well. And so we're actually accompanying one of them to court on Monday, hoping to, save some time. So that was something that we were really proud to be able to participate in. That was in May around Mother's Day. So the idea was to hopefully get some mothers back with their families in time for Mother's Day. So that was a really nice project that we were really grateful to be able to participate in. And in the upcoming months, we are going to be involved in voter engagement and voter education, particularly around voter disenfranchisement. So what we are going to be doing is just educating the community, specifically people who have the right to vote but may not know it. So as y'all may know, people have their formerly incarcerated people have their voting rights restored after felony conviction. So whenever they're completely off papers, that's something that is automatically restored in the state of Texas. There's some other states that require some other steps to be taken, but here in Texas, it's automatically restored. And a lot of people don't know that. And so they're not voting, they're not participating in elections. And this year is an important election year. And so we want people to be able to participate in those elections. And so we're going to be doing some voter education, just making sure that folks know that they do have the right to vote. So we're going to be targeting some certain populations just to make sure that people understand what the law is around voter disenfranchisement. I guess I thought I had more for that tonight, but that's all I have. Do y'all have any questions about anything?
I definitely have. When you speak about the not knowing you had the right to vote, I actually printed out an article that it says, could Donald Trump's felony conviction help expand voting rights for Texans convicted of felonies? Have you heard anything about that?
I think what it could definitely do is help people understand, what it can absolutely open the conversation, because right now, not a lot of people, it's not something that is in people's minds right now. So I think it could definitely open the conversation so that people are going to have a lot of questions, right? Because he has, the convictions, right? And so once people understand that they can vote, right? So there's a lot of, the funny question is around him running for president, and that's a completely different thing. But that's the thing that people don't understand. There's been a lot of misinformation because there was a lawsuit. I forget the woman's name, and I'm drawing a blank. But there was a woman there was a lawsuit where she was convicted for voter fraud. Mm-hmm. But what happened was that she was on parole. And that's why, that they kind of put like a scare into people where people are now, confused about what the law is. But as long as people are not on parole or any kind of probation, they've served the time that is required, people's right to vote is automatically restored. And so that is the information that we want people to know, is that once they are completely off papers, and all of that is settled, their voting rights is automatically restored. They don't have to get permission from anyone. It's just something that's the way the law works here in the state of Texas. And so I'm hoping that at least that, since people have questions, that is something that it can kind of, like I said, open the conversation for us to be able to inform people, give them the right information, because what happens is when there's misinformation, then people don't show up at the polls because they don't know. They're scared of, what the consequences might be. Voter fraud can be really intimidating, especially when you have, lawsuits and things that are in the media about people going to prison for voter fraud, right? And that's not the information that we want people to know. We want them to have the correct information. So that's what we'll be doing, is just having those conversations with people so that they have access to the correct information. We'll be able to work with people so that we can confirm, their voter eligibility status, so that people know 100% if they are eligible to vote. Get them registered to vote, and then hopefully get them to show up at the polls.
Absolutely. That's important. Crystal Mason, that was her name.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, her conviction was overturned. I think she registered to vote. She got the registration.
Yeah. Well, I registered to vote. Whenever I went down to get a driver's license, they asked me, they said, "Would you like to register to vote?" I said, "Well, can I?" And they said, "Sure." And they typed it in, and I got her voter registration sent to me. And Ray Hill said, "Don't you dare vote." And I said, "Well, they gave me the voter registration." He said, "Yeah, but you're still on paper." So wait till you're off paper, then you go vote all you want. He said that, right. Ray Hill said that there was, in 1985, they had a Citizens Restoration Act that gave all the felons, ex-offenders, the right to vote as long as they were not on paper. So we get our rights restored to us once we get off paper.
Well, we appreciate that information, Mimi. A lot of people, there was a lot of conversation regarding that. We appreciate you bringing that this evening, and we look forward to you coming back. What's a good address that people can write to you?
Yep, I have that for you. So Texas Advocates for Justice, or TAJ, T-A-J, and that is P.O. Box 88235 in Houston, Texas. Zip code is 77288.
All right. Thank you very much, and you have a great evening and a great weekend.
Thank you. You as well. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, now we have Allison. Allison is on line 1. How you doing, Allison?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing good. It's hot outside.
I know, that's for sure. I'm sure it's hot inside, too, in a lot of the units where we're broadcasting.
Yeah, I bet you it is. So Allison is the attorney at Mathis Legal Services, and she is running for Harris County 338th District Judge. So what do you have for us tonight?
Well, I thought I would talk about some of the recent opinions that have been handed down. I think maybe you guys have heard the Supreme Court has just been handing down tons and tons of decisions, and some of them are really interesting, especially for criminal law. And they're not all bad, surprisingly, right? So I think that the one that I wanted to talk about tonight is one called Smith versus Arizona, and it just came out a couple of days ago. And so in this case, and this is going to be really important to a lot of the people who are listening right now, because I think this might impact a lot of convictions. So in this case, in Smith versus Arizona, there was a lab analyst who performed the drug testing on these drugs that they said Mr. Smith had. Well, the lab analyst quit her job in between the time that she tested the drugs and the time that the case went to trial. So that happens a lot. Like, I can tell you that. And that happens a lot in practice. Somebody quits, maybe somebody dies, they move on, they get fired. And so when it comes time to for trial, the state just has another analyst, a substitute analyst, take the report that the analyst who's gone now, had written, and then they testify based on that first analyst's report. So they have a substitute analyst in there, testifying. And so that's been kind of checked off as being okay for a really long time. But Mr. Smith's attorney did a really good thing. He objected, right? He said, this is not okay. This is hearsay. This is objectionable hearsay that this substitute analyst is testifying about an out-of-court statement offered for the truth of the matter asserted, right? And so that's what hearsay is. That's the legal definition of hearsay. And when this substitute analyst is reading off of the lab report somebody else's words, where somebody else is saying, I did this and I did it the right way, and then I did this and I did it the right way, that is the same thing as hearsay, right? And you are entitled to confront your accuser. And so that implicates the confrontation clause of the Constitution. So what that means is that evidence is not admissible. Do you hear what I'm saying? This is a really big deal. If you had someone else testify at your trial who was not the analyst who performed the testing on the drugs, maybe on the DNA, we don't even know how far this could possibly go. Now, the Supreme Court carves out a couple of exceptions, right? Of course, because they're going to have to. But one of the exceptions is they say, look, this has to be testimonial. It has to be things that are prepared in anticipation of trial. It makes sense for the state to have a substitute analyst come up and testify, and they can talk about some things, right? They could say, in a typical lab, this is the procedure that we would follow. They could testify to the standards that they're supposed to have as an analyst. They're supposed to, they could testify about accreditation standards. They could testify answering hypothetical questions. But what they can't do is they can't testify that this other analyst who performed the testing did X, Y, and Z correctly, right? And so this is going to be huge. And I think this is going to be the basis for a significant amount of writs and appellate issues. Now, one of the problems is that if your attorney didn't object, then this issue doesn't get preserved for appellate review. And so I think that there may be a way to claim ineffective assistance of counsel through an 1107 writ if your attorney didn't raise the objection at trial and you had a substitute analyst. I'm not sure you're going to win. I think that the counter argument to that is going to be that the state's going to say, well, the law at the time in Texas was that this was admissible evidence, and so that attorney wasn't performing at a lower standard of practice because they didn't know that the Supreme Court was going to do this. But I think what we need to argue is that this is a constitutional right, and if the Supreme Court finds that this is a violation of a constitutional right, it has always been a violation of a constitutional right, and that shouldn't keep people in prison if their rights were violated. So I think that there can be a whole lot of relief here, maybe, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how the Texas courts handle this.
When did this decision come down?
Like 2 days ago.
Okay. All right.
So the other thing that came out This is actually this one is out of the Dallas Court of Appeals, and a friend of mine drew my attention to this. This one is not nearly as big a case, but I think it can affect some people in Texas, and I think it can maybe affect some people within the listenership especially, okay? So this is a dissent. This isn't even the opinion. This isn't even what, and so this case is called Allen versus Texas, and here's the Court of Appeals number 0523000476 CR. And so that's out of the 5th District in Dallas, right? And so here's what happened. Mr. Allen goes to trial, and he has Mr. Allen goes to trial, and he has a 3-day trial. It is a sex case. And, you know, I'm just telling you, as a trial attorney, as an appellate attorney, it is rare for me to have a sex case that went to trial and not have at least a couple of appellate issues, right? There's usually something that happened that, you know, you kind of look at cross-eyed. But his attorney, his appointed attorney on appeal, filed an appeal where he raised just 2 issues, and that's okay. Sometimes, you know, if that's all you got, that's all you raise. You don't want to raise frivolous stuff. But he raised one issue was that the definition of reasonable doubt was included in the jury charge, and he felt like that was reversible error. And the other issue was that there wasn't a transfer order included in the court's records, and he felt like that was a jurisdictional violation. So here's the thing. That sounds like maybe those are okay arguments, but they're not, because the court has already ruled on those arguments a whole bunch of times. Now, it's okay for attorneys to say, hey, court, we think that you have made a mistake, and we want you to reconsider the way that you've ruled on this law before. But what this attorney was doing was filing the same brief into every case that he was appointed. So he was filing these 2 issues into every case he was appointed for the last 10 years.
Oh, my God.
So he's taking these court appointments, and then he's submitting these briefs, and the Court of Appeals keeps coming down saying, look, we already decided this. You filed this in 75 other cases that in front of us. Stop doing it. So they ruled against him again in this case. But one of the justices wrote a dissent, and what her dissent said was, look, this is not just bad business, right? This is not just a not great brief. This was Justice Goldstein. This was actually something that divested people of their rights, right? This prevented people from getting a meaningful review of their trial because this guy was just throwing in these frivolous claims. And so she said, I would have actually found that these arguments were frivolous, and I would have struck the brief, and I would have required that attorney to file a different brief or have the trial court appoint a new lawyer. So I think, it sounds like in the dissent, it sounds like she's going to report this lawyer to the bar for an ethics violation for filing frivolous briefs. So I think one of the things that, if this has happened to you, if you look through your appellate record and you see that your lawyer, because one of the things in the dissent actually says, this is not the only lawyer who's doing this. So if you look through an opinion that was issued in your case, if you look through the brief that your appellate attorney filed, and you see that they raised arguments that make no sense, that don't apply to your case at all, that are just frivolous, I think you might consider filing an ineffective assistance of counsel writ against them and citing this dissent.
Well, I'm sorry, Allison, we got to wrap it up, but you just gave us a lot of great information.
Good stuff.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff. Can we get an address where people can write to you?
Sure. 4801 Woodway Drive, Suite 300 West, Houston 77056.
Well, we appreciate you, Allison. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we look
forward. All right, I love you guys.
Love you too, and we look forward to having you back on.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, and now, of course, we have Terry Peden. He's actually in the studio. How you doing?
Doing good. How y'all doing?
Doing splendid. So what you got for us tonight?
Yes, ma'am. So tonight, I just want to talk to the guys. I want to, first and foremost, say thank you to the Prison Show for the opportunity and for all the listeners out there. I want to speak to the guys and gals that have an FI1 vote, or any type of FI. I don't care if it's a FI18. We'll take those too, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So anybody with a FI1 or any type of FI, as well as other people who can envision the day where they get that paper. So close your eyes right now and see it, smell that paper that has that FI1 with your name on it, right? And I want to talk to y'all a little bit about mindset leading up to release and also once you get out. I don't like repeat customers for my parole and my criminal defense related. I mean, I'll take your case if you just want to keep going back and forth and give me your money, but that's not my goal. My goal isn't to have a cycle of the same clients over and over, helping them get out and unfortunately watching them be unsuccessful on parole. So this might be horrible marketing, but I want to give y'all some tips so that if you hire me to help you get out on parole or to help you avoid a revocation, that you don't have to call me again for anything criminal related. So my main tagline here is going to be slow and steady wins the race. I know a lot of my clients and people that I work with find themselves in trouble, and when I really sit down and talk to them and I'm like, okay, well, you know, what was your mindset that got you in trouble? The mindset in many instances was, you know, I want to provide. I want to be able to pay for things and be independent and show the people who've done so much for me while I was incarcerated that I'm big and I'm strong now and I don't need any help and I can do for you. And that's fine. That's the goal that we want to work to. I know that as human beings and especially as men that we have that instinct. However, unchecked, if we don't rein that in and put some type of focus to it, that can get a lot of people in trouble. And I know a lot of people who had who were honest and admirable in having that mindset and acting on that instinct. But again, unchecked has messed a lot of people off. So how can we handle this urge to want to provide and want to be independent and take care of those that we love and we cherish? How can we exercise that constructively, right? So first and foremost, I just want to say this. We, and I'm saying we as a person who has loved ones who are incarcerated, and just a member of the community, right? Someone who's rooting for y'all. We're more proud of you working at a fast food restaurant and being responsible and taking your time and staying committed to your goals step by step, day by day, piece by piece, opposed to you get out, now we're back in front of the store, we're doing X, Y, and Z, we're ripping and running and taking all of these risks and chances that inevitably lead us to the same thing. And it helps me make a great argument that you love your family, you want to take care of your children and your mama and all of this and that, but ultimately you can't. It makes it a lot more difficult for you to be that provider and to be that man that you're willing to risk it all for, to be, right? So, again, we're more proud of you taking the slow route opposed to feeling like you have to rush. We don't feel that way. That voice in your head is imaginary, right?
Absolutely.
And people people on the outside who are working for y'all advancement, we want y'all to understand that, you know, from a family perspective and also from a community support perspective. We need you. I was an educator, a teacher for 6 years, man. These kids need y'all. Y'all feel like, oh, my kids need me and I want to raise them. And I went in when they were 2 and now they're 15 and blah, 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 blah. It's true. They do need you, but they don't need you to get out and then hit a quick U-turn in 2 or 3 years. And then now you're looking at your grandkids from inside out, you know? So they need you. The world needs you. And dang it, I need you too. So the moral of the story, again, is take your time. Slow and steady wins the race. I'm talking to myself here as well as I'm talking to each one of the listeners. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. And constructively, what can we do? So I say start planning from the inside out, right? Get right first and foremost. I mean, I'm not here to direct anybody's religious or anybody's religious views, you know, that's your business. That's between you and what you believe in, but get straight with that. Whatever that force is for you, I believe in God, so I just call it God. Get right with God and ask him, hey, what's my purpose? What's my gift? What's my duty to the world? Because I feel like those same things are at the core of, again, a lot of guys who I know aren't, you're not a bad person, but you're making bad decisions. You know what I mean? And those decisions are, when we get down there in that courtroom, they ain't trying to hear too much of all of that. That might help you for mitigation purposes, but we're not trying to mitigate. We're trying to avoid all of that, you know? In terms of, right, so first and foremost, figure out, meditate on that. Y'all got some time down there, right? So think about it, you know, exercise that time and figure out that purpose. In terms of setting goals for release, think big, but also think practical, right? Slow and steady. We're not trying to be in a 100-meter race. I've started running distance races, so in the process of running my first marathon and a 15K race, that's 13.1 miles. I have to run my pace. You know, I ran it with just say 10, not 10, about 6 or 7 of my friends. And if one of them was even 1 or 30 seconds faster a mile, and we're going to run 13 miles, I can't try to keep up with them. I have to run my race and my pace, and I'll get there at my time, just as successful as they did when we crossed the line and we all get our little, you know, field day medallion or whatever.
Why y'all doing 13? Why? That's a bad number.
13.1?
Yeah.
I saw 0.1 on there, so it kind of rounds it. It doesn't keep them at that unlucky number. But yeah, think big and also think practical. So organize your resources, right? In terms of action steps, organize your resources. It's a lot of resources out here. Some of y'all who've been gone for a minute, the world has changed, and it's a lot of great people, just like the individuals here at the prison show and those who come on this show often, who are doing the work, but you got to seek them out as well, right? You have to make yourself known to them. Be humble, be proactive. A lot of y'all come from good homes, just like I do, where y'all had resources and y'all had parents who had a little bit of some who could, you know, it wasn't like you were in survival mode. Well, whenever you get out, don't get out and then start telling people what you don't want them to do for you. If they're there to help you, that's a blessing. Take that. I've seen a lot of guys reject the help, run out here in the streets, do a bunch of unnecessary stuff, and then come back and say, oh, I want to do this and that for my mama and my kids. What? Accept the help. When mom wanted to let you stay there, you didn't want to. You wanted to run and go hang out with the girlfriend and do all of this and that, and now you got parole knocking on the door because the girlfriend got mad and she wants you out. Or your mama was going to take you in the first place. Take your tail over there and sit with mama for a minute, or wherever those resources may be. I'm just saying, don't feel as though, again, I need to do all of this and that to show people how big and how strong and much of a man or woman I am. Just take your time with it. You'll be able to show that, and we appreciate it by watching you just simply live a good life and do your best to do the right things. Nobody listening to this show is dumb, you know. Arguably, maybe, me too, right? But we ain't dumb, so you know right and wrong. Just do your best to do right, and I think that that'll carry you a long way. In terms of, again, on that point, I wrote it here and I put it in all caps. Man, poverty is no longer cool. It's a lot of people in prison that just because they wanted to fit in or felt like I need to portray a certain image, man, that's played out, you know? In terms of, again, how do we locate those resources? Google. I ain't saying who got a cell phone, but if you're down there, you might happen to have a cell phone. Well, use it to find something good that can help you whenever you get out. And once you know, for the conventional listeners, once you do get out, use Google. Ask your family members to Google things. For example, if you live in Houston, Google reentry resources Houston. It's going to be a whole plethora of phone numbers, contacts, emails, locations, addresses. Make yourself known to these people. Go get in their faces. If they have an address like the reentry network program on Lockwood here in Houston, or Miss Rosie's place in Houston as well, her reentry program, go down there and put yourself in these people's faces the same way we put ourselves in front of other people's faces, maybe for not the best reasons in the world. You know what I mean? You have to be proactive and make it a point that they know you and they know that you're serious about trying to get the help. A couple more points just to kind of wrap things up. lastly, and I feel like this is extremely important. This is something that I do within my packets, and I put it there, and I love to see the guys actually take the time to complete this section of my materials. But organize your time in conjunction with your goals. So before you get out, you should already have a 1 month plan, a 3 month plan, a 6 month plan, and a set of goals that go with it. It doesn't make you a failure if you don't hit the 3 month goals at 3 months. Keep working, but take your time. Don't try to jump. I'm going to get out and just go straight to being a solo entrepreneur and make all the money in the world. Man, you might have to go get a job at the gas station and do that humbly and do your best and be grateful for the opportunity and slowly build yourself up. Okay, now I can get an LLC. Now I can pay for trade school. Now I can start a payment plan on doing this. Now I can go get a bank account. Like that. This is real life. This is how things work in real life. It doesn't just, all right, I'm going to go get a 50 slab and start hustling. You know what I mean? Like, we know where that's going to get us. So, again, line things up in terms of that plan and stick to it. Remind yourself. Keep that. Tape it to your mirror every day when you're getting up, brushing your teeth. Write those goals on the mirror. And just in closing, you know, it's all of our goal to help y'all out. And I just, as bad as y'all want to help and provide, we want to do that. Your family wants to be the recipient of that love that you have to give them. We just don't want to see y'all do things out of order, you know, that could put you in a perilous position and in a place. Jail isn't cool no more. It's played out. It's no more stripes to get from going to jail. The young listeners, hear me clear. You know, look at some of the older gentlemen. Older gentlemen, look at the younger gentlemen. Like, this is it. Let's get out and stay out. And yeah, that's all I got. I don't want to just keep rapping and rapping. Thank you for your time. God bless y'all.
That's a lot, Terry. You did really good.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yep. You made up our 2 minutes we were behind. But every time you come on, man, you bring a lot of information.
Thank you.
So I really appreciate it.
We appreciate y'all.
And you've done a wonderful job changing over from being a teacher to having your own practice now, man.
Come on now, I appreciate that. I just got to get that. I got to get that little gadget on my website fixed. And she's right, man. She said she sent me some. I went on there. I'm looking through. I got like 3 or 4 different ways a person could contact me on my website. As I'm looking, I'm like, man, come on, this is not like me. I go on there. I say, I filled out the form myself and I didn't even get it. So y'all, same way I'm talking to y'all about things being in process. I take my licks on the chin, but we just got to keep going, y'all. We got to keep pushing.
Yeah, those forms don't always work. I contacted Cody Johnson with the form and it didn't work. I talked to him in person. That worked.
Yeah.
Well, and that's why when he came in this evening, I'm like, hey.
Yes, sir.
Don't call me ma'am. I feel so old every time.
You're getting there.
She is old, yeah.
What?
Well, I'm no spring chicken myself.
Did you hear Linda?
I heard Linda from back of the damn studio. She is old. Whoa. Ain't that something?
And who's got the silver hair?
I know.
That's a crown up there. It's a crown.
Yeah, that's right. That's a crown.
Did he give his address?
So my mailing address is P.O. Box 1410, Houston, Texas 77251. Again, P.O. Box 1410, Houston, Texas 77251. Phone number 334-544-9471. 334-544-9471. Y hablamos español también.
Wow.
He's been studying.
He's been studying.
Yeah, I got that Rosetta. Rosetta working for me. Rosetta's working for me. She's doing her thing, y'all.
So I was talking about a Chinese lady, and you got Rosetta.
I got Rosetta.
Well, I got an appointment with Mr. Peden here coming up. So
yes, ma'am. Monday,
yes. If he calls me ma'am, though, I'm going to be
noted.
It's the way he was raised.
I know. And I appreciate that. It just makes me feel old. Now, I wanted to remind everyone before we swing into our segment, remember, they are required, according to the heat directive, to provide water at all times, ice, and it should be replenished on a regular, as-needed basis, fans, and cold showers or cool showers, additional cool showers, and a respite area if it's over 90 degrees, which it's been over 90 degrees. That's not a, it's definitely, you definitely need to remember those things that they, according to their policy, and we're going to be bringing that up to them tomorrow, I can assure you. So, Linda, are you ready? And now she's on. Okay.
I'm ready, yes.
All right. Good evening, everyone on Texas Death Row and everyone else listening, because we all know you are listening. And shout out to our friends over at the federal prison system, because we know you're listening too. Romero Gonzalez was executed on Wednesday, June the 26th, was pronounced dead at 6:50 p.m. His last statement, according to the TDCJ website, is, "Yes, ma'am, to the Townsend family, I'm sorry I can't articulate. I can't put into words the pain I have caused y'all, the hurt what I took away that I cannot give back. I hope this apology is enough. I lived the rest of this life for you guys to the best of my ability for restitution, restoration, taking responsibility. I never stopped praying for all of you. I never stopped praying that you would forgive me and that one day I would have this opportunity to apologize. I owe all of you my life, and I hope one day you will forgive me. I'm sorry. Patricia, I'm sorry. David, I'm sorry. To all your family, I'm sorry. I just want you to know I love you guys, and I lived the best that I could to give it all back. To my family, my friends, thank you for all the support, every decision I made, everything I said in this penal system was based on how it will reflect on you guys. And Bridget, I lived my life for you guys. I love you all. To the administration, Warden Dickerson, Hazelwood, thank you for being so courageous, for making decisions to make the system better. You guys are also my goal. It's why I've been better, giving me the responsibility and the opportunity to become responsible, to learn accountability, and to make good. Continue to fight the fight, especially in your faith. God bless you all. Warden, I'm ready. So, right now, we have 5 scheduled executions in Texas. And yes, we know more are coming. And get your phones out, because we've got to continue to call the governor. And his number is 512-463-2000 or 512-463-1782, and tell him you oppose the death penalty in all executions. Start calling those county DAs if you oppose the death penalty. And I said this Wednesday night, it doesn't matter if we all have differences of opinion. We stand together in what we believe. So go out to Huntsville and stand with us. Currently, like I said, we have 5 official executions. Ruben Gutierrez is scheduled for July 16th, and he is out of Cameron County. Arthur Burton is scheduled for August the 7th and is out of Harris County. Travis Mullis is scheduled for September 24th and is out of Galveston County. Garcia White is scheduled for October 1st and is out of Harris County. And Stephen Nelson is scheduled for February the 5th of 2025 and is out of Tarrant County. It's not often that they schedule them that far in advance. Now, as my friend Mayo says, here's the news you can use. And just to remind everyone, if you would like a copy of the information, please let Linda or I know. Gabrielle Hall, you are scheduled for conference at the Supreme Court coming out of the CCA on September the 30th. Mayo, you are scheduled for conference at the Supreme Court coming out of the Fifth Circuit on September the 30th. You also submitted your reply to the state's opposition on June the 26th. Aurelia Escobar, you were scheduled for conference at the Supreme Court on May 30th and June 6th. But were not heard. We are still waiting on the next date for you. Rodney Reed, you have been scheduled for conference 9 times at the Supreme Court coming out of the CCA. You have been rescheduled again for a date that is not listed. Richard Tabler, the state filed their opposition to your petition at the Supreme Court on June the 14th. James Broadnax, you were denied by the Supreme Court on June the 24th. Amos Wells, an amicus brief was filed by the Law School Centers on Racial and Criminal Justice on June the 25th at the Fifth Circuit. Franklin Davis, on June the 17th, you requested an extension at the District Court to file motion to amend petition that was granted. You must file by July 5th. Paul Story, on June the 19th, the CCA rejected Tarrant County DA Sharon Wilson's request for a new punishment hearing. And John Rubio, on June the 25th, the state filed a response in opposition to the opposed motion to alter judgment at the district court. And I think Miss Linda has some information for you.
I do. I've got some birthdays, guys, for the month of July. William Hudson and Elijah Jobert, July the 3rd. Harlem Lewis the 3rd, July 5th. Obel Cruz Garcia, July the 8th. Paige Lawyer, July the 9th. Gerald Marshall and William Urban, July the 11th. Cedric Marks, July 15th. Melissa Lucio, July 18th. Carrie Allen, July 21st. Jeffrey Prevost, July 22nd. Humberto Garza, July 24th. Edward Busby, July 25th. Jason De La Cerda, July 26th. Dylan Compton, July 27th. Eric Cathy, July 29th. Willie Jenkins, Carlos Ayastas, and Stephen Staley, July the 30th. We got 3 birthdays in one day there.
Yeah.
Y'all can have a big party. Okay, now I've got a poem too from Facundo Chavez. Lab rats, are we lab rats? Are we a social experiment? Are we humans without rights? Is justice really blind? Why can't I leave? Where does time go? Is this sadness? What is joy? Where is freedom? Where is my will? Has anyone met loyalty? When do the scales balance out? How does the word pain hurt? What's the weight of a teardrop? When did I last laugh? Were memories downloaded and saved in me? Where does love live? Are we all equal? Can I still smile? If they're pro-life, why do we die? How far is the sky? Can I say bye? Best wishes, Facundo Chavez.
That was great, Facundo, and I always enjoy hearing from him.
Yeah, I've never heard from him, but I got the poem from you, and I read it.
Yeah, it was great. And thank you so much. Now, like I always say, we sprinkle news throughout our broadcast. I do not believe I've mentioned this, or I may have, but Governor Abbott appointed Tom Fordyce to the Texas Board of Criminal Justice. So as a reminder, it's important that we know who is on the board. It's important because they make the decisions when all mail stopped or when they decided we could no longer send cards. That was something that was a decision that was finalized through the Texas Board of Criminal Justice. So it's important that we know these people, we follow these people, and even when we go to the meetings, the board meetings, we introduce ourselves so they can put a face to it, because I email them all the time. I'm always up in their business. So Tom Fordyce, he is, of course, from Huntsville and vice president of the County Fair Association. So he's Masonic Lodge. You know, he's
do you think he's part of the Illuminati? I'm just playing. Block everything I have going on. Just kidding. I was just playing. I'll save all that for federal court.
Yeah. You see, he just said everything I wanted to. But David makes me be very, very good. He's like, you can't do that.
You have to behave, Danny.
Can't
I
say
know
Illuminati
it's
on the airways. Illuminati. Just kidding.
Hey, it's no different than saying pussy, right? We said that a lot. You can say that because it's the name of a rock band.
Okay.
You heard them.
They got out of jail, and we had just about a whole show about it.
I stick to Illuminati.
Now you're sounding like Donald Trump.
Uh-oh.
Ew. She ruined my night now.
Make America great again.
I'm going to go in there and take that cowboy hat and knock him upside the head. I swear to you. So, more information. TDCJ, I wasn't at the microphone. TDCJ and the city of Bartlett announced that the former Bartlett State Jail is opening back up as the Bartlett Unit. They say the decision to reactivate the facility stems from a rise in the prison population and the need for additional beds. So, they are reopening it. And, of course, the city of Bartlett is just thrilled to pieces. But Brian Collier said it is set to operate as an innovation unit for the agency. It will offer a new approach to programs and services designed to support successful rehabilitation and reintegration into society upon release. So it does not say exactly what this innovation unit, what will take place, or what the programs will be. However, they are holding a job fair, a hiring event that will take place on July 23rd and 24th. The unit's projected opening date is early October 2024. And I just, on a personal level, I find it they don't have enough officers. They can't even get food to some of these people because they lack officers to get the food to them. But they're going to be opening this, and this unit is it's like around the Austin area, a little bit north of the Austin area. But maybe they'll have some people, I don't know, able to hire some people over there. Very sarcastic. I'm being very sarcastic. But right now, we have so many messages on our Facebook page wanting us to ask about food because their loved ones are getting Johnny's 24/7. I mean, it's nothing but Johnny's breakfast, noon, and dinner. If they even get, sometimes they
blob of peanut butter.
Sometimes they go over 12 hours with no food.
That ain't no bueno.
No, especially in this heat. No water, no food, nothing. But the Bartlett unit will be opening.
Will it be AC?
I don't know.
It used to be a state jail, so I doubt it.
It's an innovation unit, David.
Ooh, so maybe they're going to install it. Maybe we'll ask tomorrow.
Oh, I plan on it. That's what I plan on it. I got it right here.
Cool. You want to listen to Charlie and the Regrets?
Why not?
Well, the gavel came down and they locked me up. Now the state has got my body and the county just sold my truck. Inside these walls, well, I moan and bleed. It's an awful big mess for just a little weed. Well, I'm not saying I didn't break the law. One little misstep, I took an awful big fall. If I'd have been a rich man or Well, the gavel came down and they locked me up. Now the state has got my body and the county just sold my truck. Inside these walls, well, I moan and bleed. It's an awful big mess for just a little weed. Facing some time, so we put on a wire, traded his troubles for mine. I should have been suspicious when he had cash to pay. Now my cousin's on probation and I got 700 days. Well, the gavel came down and they locked me up. Now the state has got my body and the county just sold my truck. Inside these walls, well, I moan and bleed. It's an awful big mess for just a little weed. I'm in some awful big trouble for just a little weed.
You're listening to KPFT Houston. Support for KPFT and the Prison Show is provided by the Cohen Parole Law Team. For almost 40 years, Gary Cohen has helped to represent incarcerated individuals throughout Texas, obtain parole, and fight parole revocations. We protect those who have fallen short of perfection from the wrath of those who believe they have attained it. More information about Gary Cohen and his associates, Alan Bennett and Gene Anthus, can be found on their website at parolelaw.com. You may also contact them at 512-476-6201.
All right, and we are back. Remember, 713-526-5738. Option number 2 to get on the air and leave your loved one a shout out. And right now we have Julie on line 1.
We're going to return this air conditioner down. We can hear you.
Hi, Julie.
Hello, how are you doing?
Doing good. You are on the air.
Okay, I wanted to shout out to my loved one, my sweetheart in the Mathis unit. I wanted to check on him. I haven't talked to you, but I do have minutes on the phone on my side, so you can call me. Finally got some money today and done that. But I wanted to let you know I love you and I miss you, baby, and I'm praying for you, and I just hope and pray that your health's well with all this heat going on, and just thinking of you. We're doing good. We're took Julian to work and took him to work about 5, and then I gotta go pick him up at 11. But he's doing good. So, and I put minutes on where I send them until I get paid. I'll send you on your what do you call it? On the for your texting, I send you one that you transfer your stamp so you could write me. But I miss you, baby, and I love you, and I'm still praying for you and hope the best for you, and just call me when you get a chance. Sweet dreams, and I'm hoping and praying your health is doing good. to stay in there and keep your head up high. And you know, I'm out here waiting on you, baby. Love you, miss you. Thank you for letting me shout out to him.
Well, thank you for calling, Julie. And we hope you have a great weekend and call back next week.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.
Hey, James, if you can hear us, call us back. Linda actually accidentally hung up on you.
All right, now we have Lupe on line 3. Lupe on line 3.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. I heard something else come out, like a busy signal, etc. Well, first of all, thank you all for making this possible, that we're able to call and do shout-outs to our loved ones. And my shout-out is to Isidro de la Cruz, and he's in the Polanski unit. I just wanted to do the shout-out, say hi, and just wanted to let you know that everybody's fine, everybody in the family is fine, and also to let you know, Isidro, that I have you in my prayers every day, you and your family. And I have to say that you keep us in your prayers, and I will call next week. Thank you all very much. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a great weekend.
You all too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, now we have James on line 2. Hi, James.
Hey, Danny. How's it going?
It's going.
This is from my old man, Paul DeVoe, Polanski Unit.
Oh, hey.
Call and say.
Hey, James. Go ahead. Go ahead with your shout-out.
I know he's been meaning for me to call in for a while, and I'm glad I finally got to connect. Just want to say that I miss you, and I can't wait to get down there and see you again soon. Glad to hear that you're doing better, and look forward to every phone call I get from you.
Well, that is so sweet, James, and we look forward to having you back down. We can all get together again.
Absolutely. I look forward to it as well. And keep your head up, Dad. I love you, and I'll see you again soon, hopefully.
Have a great weekend, James.
You too, all.
Bye-bye. All right. Now we have Lydia. Lydia? Hi, Lydia. Lydia?
Yes, this is Lydia.
Okay, go ahead with your shout-out.
Oh, I'm already on?
You are already on.
Okay. I just want to tell my son that I didn't realize that when he called me, it was close to 8 o'clock. And I kept on saying, like, can you hear me? Can you hear me? And then I noticed it was already 8. The afternoon had gone by so fast. But I'm good, mijo. I'm fine. We just went to Sloshki's. They have a special 2 medium sandwiches for $14, the combo. And that is really good.
That's a good price.
Yes, it is. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I had seen their sign said 2 for $14, and you can have. I thought maybe it would just be the original, and no, you could order the deluxe one. You could order any one of them. Like, I said, wow, and it comes with a drink and the chips, and then they have $5 10-inch pizzas. I said, what? It's very competitive here. It's very competitive here in the Valley, Danny. I mean, there's restaurants left and right here. I mean, you can choose and pick. Just depends on your pocket where you want to go. And I wasn't really hungry, like, to go to a restaurant. Sloshki's is just right down the street from us, so we ended up going there. But it was really good. They have good sandwiches.
They do.
Yeah, they have good
they're,
sandwiches.
They're usually
Yeah.
just so expensive. But thank you. I'm going to
Yes.
have to look into that over here.
Yeah, they are expensive, and I was surprised. I said, "Do you all have that 2 for $14?" The girl says, "Yes," and I said, "Okay, let me have 2 of them." I thought it was just the original, but no, you can order any one of them. So check it out over there in Houston somewhere. But we're good, mijito. You see, I already spread some love. There's some food. It's always about food. It's there. And what else was there? I didn't speak to Tia early, and those ladies never did come by here. And I did speak to Anthony. He's good. He was out in the back. So I'm sure he's going to have to check with the people he has to check with before he goes to that program. Hopefully he will do good between now and then, mijo. It's still a beautiful night. It's somewhat windy, but it's a beautiful night, mijo. It's really nice. So give me a buzz tomorrow. I love you, mijo, and you take care. And my saludos to all the guys, to Jeff, to Rudy, to Juan, Eric, Blaine, Ruben, Artie, Annabelle, Mark, Roderick. Who am I missing? Mark, Roderick, Moises. I'm missing Moy. How does Blaine's mother say his name?
Mayo.
Mayo. I call him Moises. Okay. So you guys have a good night, and I'll be talking to you tomorrow, God willing. Okay, mijo? Good night. I love you, mijo. Bye, Danny. Bye, Linda. Thanks for all you do. Dave and every one of you. Have a good night. Get some rest.
You too, Lydia.
Okay.
Have a great weekend.
Bye, Lydia.
All right. Now we have Annalisa.
Hello, dear friends at the Prison Show. I hope you are doing well. I haven't listened to the program for a while, and I'm going to do it soon because I miss you. People like you make this world better and give hope when things don't make sense. And so thank you. To my friend Isidro. Hi Isidro. Ciao amico mio. I hope you are doing well and having a good evening. Thank you again for your beautiful letter. It really warmed my heart. Know that I think of you always, and I hope you are doing well. Take care, my dear friend. Send you big hugs, and take care, everyone. Have a lovely evening. Bye.
She has just got she has a fabulous voice.
Yeah, was she walking?
I
She
don't
out
know.
walking through the neighborhood?
Maybe. I don't know. We should be walking.
Yeah, really.
All right. Now we have Jen on line 1. Hey, Jen.
Hi, how are y'all? Hope you're having a good night. I just wanted to go ahead and give a shout out to Erin Contreras. He's in Beto. He's currently in intake, so I'm not sure, if he has access already to a tablet, but just in case, he's browsing through the radio or something. Wanted to tell him I miss him and hope to hear from him soon.
Well, thank you, Jen. Call back next week. I'm sure he'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and let him know about the station just in case, he didn't hear. And thank y'all for doing this.
Well, thank you. We appreciate it, and you have a great weekend.
All right, y'all have a blessed night. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, 713-526-5738. Option number 2 to go live on the air. And now we have Caitlin.
This is a shout out for Beto Garza in Polonsky. Hey Boo, how are you? I hope that you're in good health, spirits staying safe, and that there is a smile on your handsome face. As for me, things are okay, pretty much the same. I'm just here getting ready to go to work, And yeah, Daytona is here, and she says woof. And Buddy is doing good. Yeah, went up to Buddy not yesterday, the day before yesterday. And yeah, he is doing really, really, really good. So he says howdy. Other than that, yeah, the weather here is like, as you guessed it, it's bipolar at the moment. It looks dark, and I think it's going to rain, but as it's here, you never know, because probably it will rain, and then in the next few minutes it will be sunshine. Yeah, other than that, yeah, things good, work is good, and yeah, so know that you're my heart, thoughts and prayers, and that I'm sending you big hugs and kisses. So good night, sweet dreams, and stay safe. And to everybody at the prison show, a big, big thank you for making this happen.
She always makes me smile. She's got a great accent. I wonder where she's from. David?
She's on the internet. You don't chat with her all the time?
No, I was being sarcastic.
Oh.
I wonder where her accent is very heavy. But she's so sweet, so sweet.
You know where Manuel is from, huh?
I know where Manuel is from.
Well, you want to hear?
Yeah, why not? Let's hear her.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I do hope that you are all right and fine. This is my shout out to my sweet and precious, beloved dream husband, Robert Robertson, Polanski Unit. Hey, and good evening, my love. I do hope and pray that you are good and all right. So good as possible at this time. As for me, I'm the same, baby. I'm okay so far. So good as possible. I miss you, my love. I need you. I want you and I love you with all of my heart. With all the power of my heart. And you are always on my mind and in my heart, in my thoughts, and of course in my prayers, baby. I tried to answer your messages, but it was not possible because I think Securus is going to weekend a little bit too early and was not willing to let me write to you. But I will try it again, baby. So you know that I'm alive, that I'm okay, and that I don't forget you. Baby, I would never leave you, let you down, give up on you. All my prayers are with you, baby. And our dear and almighty God may send us our big, big, big special miracle and answer all our prayers and petitions. That's all I want at this time. This time is my only wish, that my husband will be free. That's all I want. Anything else, it's time later. But now all my prayers are for you, baby. And I love you so much, more than you ever can imagine, baby. You are my world and my life, and you was a gift from our Lord. And it was the best whatever could happen to me. This is my husband, and I love you more than I can say, baby. I miss you. I would like to see your face, your smile. I miss your jokes. I miss your voice. I miss everything. I miss you, baby. My love, I will never leave you, let you down, or give up on you. Never, ever. You are my husband until my last breath, and I will stay with you and by your side, always and forever. This is what I want you to know. Well, baby, good night. Sweet and blessed dreams to you. Talk to you later. I love you, and I miss you. Good night, baby.
All right. Manuela has a great voice also. Love hearing from all of them. Mike, well, maybe not Mike.
Behave.
Hello, this is Mysterious Mike doing his shout-outs for the prison show this week. Here's my shout-outs to Guys of Texas, Guy Alexander, Jamie Cupick, Stephen Russell, Stephen McGee. Shout-out for Philip Perez. Lucy and Michelle want me to do a shout-out for Paul. Shout-out for Jovan, Matt Thomas, Edward Reeves, Adam Wilkerson. Tasha wants me to do a shout-out for Payday. Shout-out for Haas, Keith Money. Shout-out for Aaron Vasquez. Shout-out for Curtis Robertson. Shout-out for Blaine Milam. Shout-out for Oz. And shout-out to Bill R. Sims. Special shout-out to Clarence Lee Bowman. Shout-out to Raymond Lee Cart. And I'd like to do a shout-out for Kinky Friedman. Rest in peace. He was a great musician. Shout-out to Jocelyn. May you rest in peace. And also shout-out to Richard Uzel, who was a board member who just passed away. And now back to the prison show.
And you too can write to Mike or anyone here at the prison show. Address is 226 Chipmunk Trail. That's 226 Chipmunk Trail, Shepherd, America, 77371. And now we have Kenneth on line 1. Hi, Kenneth.
Greetings. How are you?
Doing good. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. And I was told if I called this number, I could put a little dig in on for my book that I wrote it many years ago when I was incarcerated, and I've been out for about almost 7 years now. And and I finally took the stories that I wrote while I was incarcerated. They won many awards, and I put them into a book form. And it's now published on Amazon. The title of the book is The Distance Between Right and Wrong, Prison Short Stories. And it just basically kind of covers the idea of, what it means to be incarcerated, because, sometimes I get this idea that, we're all either zeros or heroes inside of the prison system, and that's just not the case. There's all this difference in there, and everybody's trying to live a life that's, some very difficult circumstances, and trying to walk in a way that makes sense to them. And so that's what these stories are about. And one of them in particular is also a memoir piece about me going out to talk with my father after my brother's murder, and the fact that he was my dad was a Green Beret, and I knew what he was going to do when he heard about it. And so I hopefully talked him off the ledge. So the website that I have is The Distance Between Right and Wrong.com, and it is it has on there one of my stories free. You can look at it and read the entire story if you make your decision on whether you would like to buy the book itself. And I've won awards for these things. There's some videos of me, and also another podcast that I was interviewed on.
So have you sent it to people inside the Texas prison system?
I have not, no. I am just starting this thing out. I was with the San Quentin newspaper. I'm in California, did my time here, and I was editor-in-chief of the San Quentin newspaper. And so they're going to bring me in on August 17th to the prison. I'm going back to prison, and I get back out, too. and they're going to interview me about the book and what I've written and everything like that. And I'm enjoying life out here. Life is good. I served 39 years of my life incarcerated. I understand that's a very difficult place to be at. But I found a good life and a very wonderful relationship with my wife. And, I'm glad to be doing what I'm doing.
Did you take guitar lessons from Buzzy Martin?
I did not. No, Buzzy was, but Buzzy is quite the character, and we've been bumping each other on Facebook for a while now. We have a lot of friends in common, I like the guy a lot. I actually work myself, driving guys. I pick guys up who are paroling from prison after serving decades. I pick them at the gate and walk them outside. I take them to their very first meal out, and just in the same outfit that nonprofit that did me, I'm doing it for now doing it back for them too. And so yeah, I did. And I had a good life inside of there. Very involved in sobriety. I'm now 43 years clean and sober, and and I know that. The world out here it moves at a different pace and everything like that. So when these guys come out the gate, I can welcome them out and really give them a clear understanding of, what life is going to be like for them coming out of there. So
that's cool. Did you meet your wife on the inside?
No, we were both part of a 12-step program. I don't talk about, don't mix that up. And
we're 13th stepping.
Yeah. Well, we did kind of yes and no. I mean, I have 43 years. She has 37 years, and so
I've got 17.
Congratulations, sir. And we met on a Zoom meeting because when COVID hit, everything went to Zoom. And by the way, I was just on a meeting tonight, and it wasn't a meeting. It was talking about how sobriety got into the prison system, and it came through San Quentin. And so I may be coming to Texas here in the near future to speak. So so I certainly will keep you informed on that particular.
That'll be
line
cool
there too.
Yeah, I was telling Dani I got in trouble for posting your thing on Facebook. I don't know what Facebook's problem is. I had to appeal it.
I thank you, but I don't understand it either.
Well, I posted it on my personal page, and I posted it on the prison show, and they got me both times, so I'm not sure what.
Really?
Yeah, they said that I was posting false information trying to get more likes, and I'm like, why would I do that? I mean,
that doesn't make.
No, all it does is send you to the website that I got, and if you want to buy the book, there's a way to go to the Amazon from that. And
now just to make sure, so are you pre-approved for the Texas prison system? You're pretty sure that it can get inside?
Are the stories something in the prison? I don't know. I don't see why they would not allow it in. But
we question a lot of the things that they don't allow in.
I did a pretty good job of understanding the process of incarceration, and my argument. I'll tell you, I've spoken at Huntsville myself.
Okay.
And I got. Yeah, there was a conference in Houston, and after the conference, we all drove up to Huntsville, and I got to speak at the meeting up there, and that was fantastic, and I loved it. So I don't know why they would want it, and I have a number of prison guards that are personal friends of mine, and including the retired warden of San Quentin, and she's reading it, so. So, none of them have wrote back and said, you're not going to, that you shouldn't be writing that. So I'm going to presume that it's worth publishing in there. I mean, it's not necessarily a Christian or of any denomination or any idea like that, but it is very much about dealing with and addressing the issues of, what's fair and what is really, a life worth living while incarcerated, and some of the guys got, they kind of walk a different line. One of the stories is about a fellow who is dying in prison, and he goes to a hospice unit in the prison there. and he deals with some situations in there, and it did. And my wife, my wife is a retired English teacher, and she loves it to death. And then, as I said, the other ones, one of them is about a boxing match at San Quentin, and the guy, is up and coming, is against the old bruiser, and he comes up against the situation and seeing how he has to deal with his own morals and everything like that. A number of these, there's a national prison writing contest called Pen America. And if some of your guys from Texas down there, they won a lot of awards, and kind of got me jealous about that, because, they were beating me out on a number of times when I submitted my stories. So I got issue with them. And if they ever get, if I ever can get a hold of them, I want to point a finger at them and say, thank you, good luck. You did a good job. Because I've read their stories, and that's really, this is a great opportunity for people to express themselves out of the prison system there.
Well,
that's a real gift.
We appreciate you calling in, Kenneth, and the name of your book is The Distance Between Right and Wrong.
Prison short stories.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Kenneth, and we hope you call back again.
I'd be happy to. You both take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye. And we also have Freddie on line 2.
What's going on, guys? Let me get this sandwich down my throat. I'm just barely eating. Let me shout out my boy, James Dudley over there in Wallace Pack, and really everybody in behind bars, and women, everybody. Man, life is good. Making a comeback, bouncing back, happy, healthy now. Thank God. Getting my little business going, and being blessed. I got blessed with a John Deere LA 105, a real nice one, and started to mow yards too. So everything's getting good out here, man. And you guys can be out here too, man. So do what I did. Be free while you're in there, man. Be free while you're in there. I had to make some adjustments. I'm back in Bay City, and I got a lot of family here, but I had to learn to love them from a distance. They can't come around me with that bullshit. Oh, excuse me. Oh. They can't come around me with them drugs and try to sell me stuff. I told them, I said, man, I love y'all, man, but you're going to have to stay away from me. I don't want none of that. So they're really upset, but they ain't showed up, and thank God for that. So I'm saying that to tell you guys, man, change the environment. Go to church, find people that know something and know somebody that's not the same crowd doing drinking and drugging, and they'll put you up in a place where you can get a job or you can get something going for yourself and learn something from people, man. It's been working for me very, very well, so I recommend that. Well, that's about all, guys. Y'all be good, man.
You too, Freddie. Have a great weekend.
Oh, I'm going to work all weekend.
Well, have a good weekend.
I will. Where's David at?
I'm hiding watching the dump button. I had to dump you. So you can't say nothing for about another minute. You can't say no other curse words because I can't dump you again.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that. I should have said that one.
Yeah, you get us in trouble, man. It's a big fine. I had to hit the dump button.
I don't know how I did that, man. So I guess I was just too excited.
Yeah, you need to repent.
I'm repenting right now. Sorry, guys, man. I'm sorry. Anyway,
well, thank
I'll
you.
talk to you later, David. We'll work on that tractor.
All right, brother. Sounds good.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, Linda, what you got? You got any shout-outs tonight?
Of course, I always have shout-outs. All right, I want to say some shout-outs to Joel White, Michael Moyers, Thomas Miller L., Paul DeVoe, William Owen Sr., Jaime Cole, Franklin Davis, Will Spear, Cedric Marks, Robert Satterfield, Robert Solis, Lucky Ward, Ronald Haskell, William Hudson, Juan Balderas, Blaine Milam, Paul Story, Walter Sorto, Robert Roberson, Britt Ripkowski, Charles Hill, Dwayne Buck, Tyrone Williams, Kenneth Decker, Curtis Robertson, Stephen Curry, Eugene Broxton, Marcus Drury, Troy Glover, Bill Sims, Paper Cup at Estelle Unit, and Midget Titan at the Estelle Unit. Gregory Allen at the Dieball Unit, Jedediah Reed at the Luther Unit, and then Iron Thunderhorse. Talk to you later. And Iron, I'm going to come see you. I had to register you today, though, so they have to accept me, and then we'll come see you, okay? Thank you. Bye.
Okay, now, I'm going to do my shout-outs in a second, but just to give you a little bit of what we're seeing on our Facebook page that they're requesting us to discuss tomorrow, we have the conditions of Plain State and why have they been getting Johnnies for months. Yeah, we're seeing the months for Johnnies at a few of the units. McConnell unit is serving spoiled food along with the Estelle High Security. They've had that issue for a while now. The Wynn unit, no water and ice, and we are seeing that at so many units. Every single unit that I'm in contact with has no water and no ice. The Beto unit, no Johnnies for everyone. So what we're being told is some units or some people are getting Johnnies, they run out and they leave and they don't come back. How nice. So my shout outs, and tell your people to leave messages, and if we can, we'll address it tomorrow. So my shout outs, my best friend Farron. Hey Farron. Rodrigo, Eugene Broxton, T, King Big Head, Blaine, Mayo, Toot Driver, Leroy, Michael Ferguson, Larry at the Huntsville Unit, and someone wrote something on our Facebook page about the visitation at the Huntsville Unit, that it needs to be reinstated. It has, according to everyone from the warden on up, that since the fire, they did not have regular visitation, but according to policy, they are supposed to move those over to contact visit. So that has been taken care of according to the warden and on up. So that should be okay now. Kenneth Decker, Joel White, Leo Willis, Joe Don, and Chucky and Jay from the Wynn Unit, Rexalicious at the Ellis Unit, CJ, Paper Cup, and Midget Titan. And Leo Willis, are you listening? I have that case. It is that Allison mentioned earlier. The number, you got your pen? Okay, you should have your pen. 0523004766CR. It's out of the Dallas district. So 0523004766CR. And of course, I'll send it to you too, just in case. All right, now we have Gloria on line 1. Hey, Gloria.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Doing good. How are you? I love the picture that you put up of you and Spider.
Which one?
Yeah, that I just saw it. I do not like the photo that you snagged from Niski of Joy and I looking. We look horrible in that picture.
Oh well, sorry.
We just busted out laughing. We were like, really? Really, Niski? I had to post that, and Gloria, you went and snacked it?
Well, next time, look better.
Oh, well. Thank you, Gloria.
I want to give a few shout-outs if I can figure out where I am here. Let's see. First of all, Big White. Oh, my God. That's just about knocked my socks off. I hate to hear this. He said you were ready, but I have a feeling that your mother has a very different opinion. So, anyway, I tell you, these dates just keep on coming. And I wanted to say hey to Thomas Miller. I'm trying to get my act together so I can come visit you. I think my health issues are dealt with, so I will be seeing you sometime this month. Wanted to say hello to Robert Robertson. I'm glad that your case is getting as much publicity as it is, and I hope it does something and lets people know that, they need to take you, that there was no crime, so you shouldn't be imprisoned. Anthony Pierce. Listen, I tried to order your e-com. And I couldn't do it because I'm not on your visitation list or your phone list, so add me to one of them. T, I can't thank you enough for what you wrote about Ramiro. It was absolutely beautiful. And I want to ask you if it's okay if we put it in the Workers' World newspaper alongside of the article that I'm going to write about Ramiro. Because it was just mind-busting. Eugene Broxton, hello. Tony Ford, good to talk to you. And yes, I'm behind on answering some e-messages, but I will get to you in the I'm going to Austin tomorrow. What time are y'all going to get there, Danny?
Well, Joy's always running late, so it depends on what time. We're shooting for around 9.
Oh God, that means you got to leave at what, 6:30?
Around that time, yeah.
Oh, gross. Well, I'm going to try to get up at 6 and leave by 7. So I guess I'll be there 7, 8. I'll be there about 9:30, maybe. Hopefully. Are they going to do presentations first?
That I do not know.
I've never been to one of these things, but I do want to go, and I want to give a shout out to Nanan. And Nanan, doggone it, I sent you a message. I wanted to know that woman's first name. So if you are listening, send me a JPEG or whatever their e-message right now, immediately. Let's see. Who else did I want to say hello to? Rob Will, send me a couple of names of people that you think my friend, who's quite the revolutionary activist, could write to on death row so that they'd have something in common. And I don't know if there's a lot of people waiting to get on. Can I read what T wrote about Ramiro? Do I have time?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's not real long. He said, I am sick, sad, and downright disgusted that another friend is no more, another smile gone that kept us all smiling. When the news came that he was no more, I thought about it. He was so over the... when he's telling me, I know God isn't your cup of tea, but it certainly was his. He was so over the top with his Bible talk that we would sometimes argue. Once I snapped at him, damn, bro, is that all you ever talk about? And he said, nope, we can talk about baseball if you want. And he wasn't lying. God was his first love, but baseball was his second. Specifically the Astros. He could name every player, their history, and most of their stats. He was one damn good artist, too. His ink work was so realistic you'd mistake it for a photograph. if he wasn't drawing Jesus or some part of him, he was drawing pictures of baseball players making spectacular plays. We entered the faith-based program together. He was so excited when he learned we had made it. We're in there, T, he said, all beside himself with joy. Yeah, we are, aren't we? I told him. I'm telling you, man, he said, the whole world is going to know about us now. People are going to know that we're not who we're made out to be. He was being serious and hopeful, but we were not always serious at the same time. T exclaimed, feigning surprise. Is that why you're going? I'm going for the food. Oh my gosh, why did I say that? I'll never forget that look he gave me. It was one of those don't be playing with God look that he hit me with. He really did go on to make lots of friends around the world, and people came to know and love him for who he was. I surely do hope he found his Jesus, and wherever heaven is, I hope that baseball is there and he can talk about Jesus and baseball all he wants without friends like me saying, damn, do you ever talk about anything else? We miss you. I thought that was really a nice tribute.
Yeah, T always finds a way to put, the thoughts into words, and he's amazing, and Ramiro was amazing. And we thank you, Gloria, for reading that. We do have another caller now, but thank you.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
I'll see y'all in the morning.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay, now we have Patty on line 2. Hi, Patty.
Humberto Garza at the Polinsky Unit. Hey, mijo, I hope you're still listening. Just wanted to tell you, I think your mom already called. Anthony is home. Tina's at the beach, I'm sure you know. Theo and I should be going tomorrow morning to the beach, just for the day, because I canceled my condo for last week because, of course, the storm. So I canceled that on time so I could get my money back, which was great. Anyway, we should be there tomorrow just for the day and probably dinner. Josh and Tina and Mike went out fishing today. They maxed out on trout. So that was good. Anthony did talk about going to rehab, which is awesome. Your mother sent me a card. I did talk to the man, and Anthony called him this afternoon when I got home. So, just, gonna pray on that, mijo. I'm trying to expedite my passport because Hap was going to Los Cabos on the 7th. I was talking to her right now, and she asked about you. Her and her mother said hi, and they hope you're doing good. Frank Galvan is down here right now. Probably going to see him Sunday. I love you. I miss you, mijo. I hope you're doing good. I know you're doing good. I know Tina and your mom went up this week. Amanda's good. The kids are good. So everything's good, mijito. I mean, wish you were here, papi. Good night.
Thank you, Patty. All right, now we have Carmela.
Good evening, Kristen Show. Thank you for taking my call. I thought I might have missed it because I'm been stretching myself. I hope everybody's doing well and staying cool. Looking forward to the holiday weekend. I'd like to say hello to my nephew, Bradley Leland Aiken at the Beto Unit. Hey, Brad, I hope you're doing all right. Hope you're staying cool any way you can. I know it's tough. It's hot here. And thank goodness I'm not a chicken, because they're hot too. I see them panting. Anyway, I just hope you're doing well and keeping your chin up and thinking positive thoughts and making a positive game plan. Hope you are staying cool and hydrated as well as you can. Just know that you're loved. I love you, and I'm sure other family members do, not your friends. Hope you're looking forward to 4th of July. I don't know how you guys celebrate on the inside, but I'm beyond celebrating. I just stay cool and safe inside. It's going to be a hot one. And just know you're loved. I'm real tired tonight. I've been holding the fort down for the family. They're on vacation. So, it's a jaw. Anyway, you take care, and I love you, and I hope to talk to you next week. My next shout-out is to Alexis Andrews at the Bell County Jail. Alexis, hi, hope you're doing okay. Staying cool and hydrated as well. I don't know how hot it is there, but I almost can't stand it, especially working with the chickens. Like I said, the family is on vacation, and I have a new admiration for Jonah and Daniel and Father David, what they do. But all the chickens are still alive, and Max and Daisy and Coy are still alive, and they're due back, I think, Tuesday. I missed their call this morning, and I need to transfer my text to email, looking to see if I have Father David's email, because I got long-winded on my text. But hope you're doing good. Keep your chin up, and I know you'll do well, and hope to see you soon. And my final shout out, other than other inmates at all the units, are Marcus Mullins at the Holiday Unit. Hi, Marcus. I hope you're doing okay. Trying to say well. Anyway, I'm brain dead. My brain is fried from the heat. Hope you're doing all right. Staying cool and healthy as you can. Hope things are progressing for you as well. And I hope everybody has a good 4th of July, even though you're not totally free. You're a lot freer than a lot of other countries, so keep that in mind. And just know that you're loved and thought about, and hope to talk to you next week. Have a blessed week, and thank you, Prison Show, for all you do. Traveling grace back to your home tonight, and please stay cool and hydrated.
All right.
Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you. Have a great
welcome.
weekend. Bye-bye.
You too. Goodbye.
Okay, now as a reminder, what did we talk about at the beginning? We talked about the heat directive. By policy, they are required to provide you water at all times. Ice must also be provided and replenished on a regular as needed basis. Fans, showers, additional showers when possible with lowered water temperatures. And of course, the respite areas. If the unit is over 90 degrees, incarcerated individuals can request this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That is according to their heat directive policy.
And do you have a lot of people that go there?
That what?
Go get respite?
No, hardly anyone.
Yeah, we always went to the library or went to the chapel or something like that.
Right. A lot of people don't have...
In population.
Yeah, a lot of people in population, they're not given the... I mean, I know someone who lives in it and then goes to work in the boiler room, and their hours in the boiler room are, 12, 16 hours. So
Yeah, their boiler room's not air conditioned, is it?
no.
Yeah.
So
It's hotter than, Hades.
Yeah. Let's see what it's hotter than. Yeah, so they're pretty much... I mean, he lives in it. The chow hall's not air conditioned.
No.
So he's pretty much out of luck,
Yeah. Well, whenever we got off work, we'd go to the library, we'd go to the chapel or something, but they had that room over there that they always said was for respite, but they always never had a guard to let you go over there.
Well, that's the problem at most units right now. There's never anyone to let them go. And then they're doing some staging. Like when they leave the chow hall, they stage them and make them wait for 45 minutes with all these people just, clumped together.
Right.
Which is,
Everybody just hanging out in the day room waiting to go to chow?
No, after chow.
Where they got to hang out at after chow? In the day room before they can go to their house?
No, before they can leave the chow hall area.
Wow.
Yeah.
She's trying to figure out how to get to...
Oh, I was like, what?
Yeah. Her phone's talking to her. She's trying to figure out how to go to Austin, I guess.
Oh, okay. So, and I wanted to remind people of that, and also new e-com.
Woohoo!
Starts next week. So, tell your people.
People. We're telling you.
We're telling you, the new e-com. It's a $70 spend, and now they have oatmeal and flour tortillas on it. Probably won't last that long, but they've got it.
Wow. So, it's been a good show, and we'll see all your family members that you're calling and texting and whatever, letting them know that we're going to be there in Austin. And you heard Linda, she's getting directions. She's ready.
My direction's not ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
I told Dee Dee I might go camp out somewhere. It's a 3.5 hour drive, 3 hours and 20 minutes or something or another drive from my house.
Yeah,
So.
it's about that for Joy and I are going. I think Jenny is going to go too.
And how long you got to drive tonight?
About 45 minutes.
Yeah. So I got a 70-mile drive home. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of driving. So.
But we're doing it for...
Well, I get to ride a Harley, so I'm not complaining. It's going to be hot tomorrow. And there's no respite.
There's no respite. No.
So, look, it's been a great show, and we appreciate you guys tuning in. You guys try and stay just as cool as you can. I know it's really hard, but wet your shirt and let it dry. Wet it again and let it dry, or get you a cooling towel, whatever you can do. Wet your floor. That's what we did on Cofield. We'd wet the floor and then just roll around in it and try and get some rest as much as we could. But you stay tuned because we're going to have DJ Rico in the house with the Housetonians, and we're going to go out with Charlie and the Regrets. So have a good weekend.
Have a great weekend and a great 4th of July.
Daddy, I'm coming to see you at visiting hours next week. My Remember, David's always gonna be here. You're never so alone. This thing's my love. It's Friday night, the inmates go quiet. Listen for a voice they know. It's prison radio. Prison radio. And to all the laughers, the man sitting on the road, try to keep your heads up. You ain't me if you got hope.